Hi, welcome back. So the topic of today's video is meant to help you find the truth in any situation that's going on in your life. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, go ahead and do so. I actually wrote a post about the courage of facing the truth. So it's like, if you're interested, you can go read that. But it's what inspired me, or a dream actually inspired me to make this video. So I have 3 different groups here, and I'm going to try to make this as applicable to any situation going on in your life. And I really hope that this helps you find some sort of clarity. I also want to talk about, what this is helping you learn about your truest self, or how it's helping you evolve. Just a little disclaimer, as you can see right here, I live in front of a busy street. So unfortunately, you may hear some cars rev their engines. You may hear loud music, and I do apologize for that in advance. I like to keep the window open because there's actually a lot of nice greenery outside. So go ahead and pick between the indigo kyanite, the brown tourmaline, and the smoky citrine. And let's get started. I have the decks here in order to pull more cards. Okay, so if you pick this stone, I'm gonna actually focus on the stone a bit more. Okay, so if you pick this stone, or if you pick this pile, right off the bat, I can see some sort of measuring, giving and taking in a situation, or measuring who's right and who's wrong. There is a sense of feeling like things are a little bit unfair, or maybe you were treated unfairly, or you feel ostracized or alienated from a group. So this can be, a group of friends, a group of coworkers, even family members, because like I said, I do want this to be applicable to everyone else. But you may be feeling a bit resentful, or a bit angry, or, it's just, it's understandable if you've been judged in a situation. When I first connected to you guys, I actually saw the image of you in a bright white light, and in a group of people surrounded by darkness. And to me, darkness is a symbol for, or it's an energy of not being enlightened with something. It's an energy of ignorance for me. Sometimes darkness can be good. It just depends how I intuit it. But in this case, it's ignorance and not being enlightened. And I can definitely see that there is a sense of discrepancy here between energies. It's almost like you're not aligned with the people that you're currently surrounded with. And there's a strong message here as to making sure you correctly pick and choose your friends. Make sure that it's reciprocated, because again, there's a sense of something not being reciprocated. So your goddess, or your divine feminine energy in this case, that is guiding you, is Kuan Yin, and she's the bodhisattva of mercy and compassion. And here it says, Kuan Yin is a symbol of the unlimited compassion each of us can have for ourselves, no matter what the situation. It is possible to treat ourselves with mercy and love. So, this is definitely don't beat yourself up about something, and if you've been hurt from someone or by someone, there's a sense of, when we forgive ourselves for placing ourselves in that situation, it's essentially if we have more compassion with ourselves, it can easily spill over. But there's also a sense of making sure that you give the energy to the right people, not to the wrong people. So let's see what the truth of your matter is. Well, I want these to be upright anyways, but okay, so we have 3 cards. We have the Page of Swords in reverse, the 2 of Water in reverse, and the 5 of Water. Yeah, this is loss. This is, you don't need to be chasing after something or someone that's not meant for you. I'm seeing this much more pertaining towards relationships. I'm not really seeing it towards something career. It is career, but there's 2 different things going on. One is, if this is a work situation, it can be that your ideas weren't valued your morals and what you believe in doesn't align with the company you work at, I feel like you have the ability to create out of emotion. It's almost like everything has to have meaning in your life, and the company that you worked at or you're working at, they don't operate the same. There's a sense of needing to just push out products or needing to just deliver something, versus like you want quality. For them it's quantity, for you it is quality, and it's not being, there is no alignment there. And for those that are talking about, I wouldn't be surprised though that within your company you feel a bit ostracized or misunderstood by people, and not accepted by people. So if you're wondering like what is wrong with me, because I can see that being a question, I wouldn't ask yourself that, because I don't think, there's definitely nothing wrong with you. It's much more, it's not aligned, it's not in alignment, it's not for you, it's not reciprocated. With the this is the Page of Wands in reverse. It's just communication wasn't there, and the Two of Cups, this was some sort of ending, separation. There's a sense of you needing to know that you have to cut the cord with people. You can't like control the situation or control the outcome, or you can't hold on to this idea or whatever ideas that you may be holding on to in your heart and in your mind. You have to let it go, and you have to, this is about facing the truth of a situation. You have to have that courage to do so. But yeah, there is something like not in alignment here. And let's see what else though. Let me get more cards just to like get more clarity behind the situation. So for you guys that actually started connecting to chrysanthemums, and I forgot what they mean, but they have a yellow aura around them. Let me quickly look up their meaning. So chrysanthemums, they mean protection, solving mysteries, soothing grief, mental clarity, and longevity. So you could also be forcing yourself to write out a situation when you shouldn't. Maybe you're making excuses for people, and I don't think that's fair for you. Yeah, but it's taking a toll on you emotionally as well. It is making you really, I can see it making you really go in your head, and to, I can, yeah, like just kind of overthinking and overanalyzing. But again, there's this imbalance on give and take, and there's like a sense of measuring give and take, and I can see you doing this as well, but there's a part of me that feels like the other party involved is doing this, and for me it feels like a group of people, whether it's a group of people in your life or a collective of people that portray this, certain pattern, or this certain situation. But you have the Page of Wands and the Page of Fire in reverse, the Five of Earth, and the Four of Earth. I think the other person, again, it's like two different energies here, and there is a sense of feeling abandoned, and I can definitely understand, I can also see you being used. If you're questioning about a current situation, whether you can trust people, I would say no. But yeah, there's a sense of being used in a certain situation and not being appreciated. And you can be even used financially. materially for something that you have. If with, again, this measuring of the give and take, or this imbalance there, you could be over what's the word, it's over accommodating someone, maybe doing too much for someone else and not enough for you. There's a sense of sacrificing yourself a bit too much, but it's not healthy. And I can see that the truth, if you're asking about a romantic partner, unfortunately the truth of the matter is that they're just like not interested in you. I'm not sure if you're still holding on to the hope and to the idea that they can come back, but I'm not necessarily seeing that. And again, it's just because you're not really appreciated, and there's a sense of needing to go towards like what does, towards the people and the situations and the environments that do appreciate you. And because I think the other party involved has some sort of rigidity in the way that they operate or the way that they think, and you have a very like unbounded energy. There's like a sense of having an open heart. I do also want to say that if you are losing yourself in other people, be mindful as to how you react, but I would question where, because there is such an issue also of abandonment here and being like left out or not being accepted. I would see how it, like, where the source of this pattern comes from, and how you may allow it to happen a bit too much, or how you see it in your life, because I have a feeling this isn't the first time. But again, like the main guidance here is to surround yourself by the situations that, and put yourself in the right environment, put yourself much more into an aligned environment where you are appreciated. So for your guidance, like these cards are meant to be like how this is helping you, like what this is teaching you about your truest self. And we have the trust card. It's so funny. We have marjoram, the trigger statements: people can't be trusted, and the true statements: I trust my heart. Oh, your big beautiful heart is ready to open. Trust that you will be able to discern who is best to walk with you. Again, like, who are you choosing to surround yourself with? And yeah, I don't think that these people are meant to be trusted, but I think there's a sense of needing to trust yourself in making decisions and not letting other people have this control in this department. Right? This is teaching you how to take much more control in your life and much more control in your decision making. And then you have lavender. These are all heart chakra cards, by the way, with the green. We have balance, trigger statement: no one understands me. True statement: I ask for what I need. From a place of love, you need to stand up and speak your truth. What you wish for is what the universe wishes for you. So again, there's a sense of having to step up and be heard. And I would work more on feeling safe on this earth, because you guys have a very mystical energy. So feeling safe on this earth, feeling safe with other people, not needing the color that I keep connecting to is a lot of red, root chakras. So you may be operating right now with a lot of whites. You're trying to maintain a sense of purity. You're trying to purify the situation, and you have a lot of indigos because you're someone, I can see that you meditate and you try to look at things intuitively, but it's disconnecting you a little bit, and then the situation's not helping you at all, unfortunately. But there's a sense of having to really like trust yourself and knowing that you can handle anything, the sense of needing to kind of step up a little bit and be more empowered. Although this is teaching you something about your heart, the guidance coming through again is a lot of root chakra. So a lot of fiery energy. Think like Durga, because she's coming through as well. Like think like Durga Ma. Let's get more guidance cards. So let's see actually what's going to come of the situation. And I want to use the Moonology deck so that we have, like a timing in there as well. So we have trust all will be well, new moon in Virgo. So like this, we're currently going through a new moon, so that could be significant, or like whenever the next new moon in Virgo, something, you know, important will pop up. And then you have see the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. So it's interesting because I think if you are struggling and coping with the feelings of betrayal and hurt and abandonment, part of the like essentially what's going to come next is a lot of healing, and a lot of being able to have an understanding as to like why they did what they did. Travel is coming through as well, so you may actually travel somewhere to where you'll get this revelation, or you feel like you'll feel the need to essentially like leave the environment or leave that energy, whether it's permanently or like for a vacation. But I do see getting away somewhere like to nature, like I'm seeing water, so it could be like to the beach or to like a river bank or like a lake bank or something. like a beach. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, I like everything with the trust all will be well and see the bigger picture. I mean, that's pretty positive, you know. I think you'll be able to really process your emotions and to stop them from going to a source of anger and to some more hot-headed energies, because I think if you've been repressing the vulnerability a lot and repressing these energies a bit and not communicating, you know, honestly, it can venture into that territory sometimes when we feel really betrayed and resentful. So let's pull like one last guidance card from the Rose Oracle. I know I'm overdoing it with the cards, but we have attracting like a rose, receive abundance desires. Again, I would rather, instead of focusing on what you lost, focus on what you want to attract and what's best for you. And like I mentioned before, if you've been focusing on feeling like you literally lost in a conflict, or you literally lost a fight with a friend, and focusing on how unfair it is that they got away with something, whether, you know, that may or may not be true. I mean, I think in this situation, you know, whoever these people are, they did do something that was not appropriate, or the way they handled it was inappropriate. But instead of focusing on what you lost, and like, I would focus on what you can attract and start thinking about the opportunities and how limitless this world is, and how you don't have to focus on this side, you know, or like, I don't want to be cliched, and I kind of hate the expression of you don't have to focus on the negative, because I don't think that's true all the time. But in this situation, like, essentially, like, don't focus on what you lost. I would work on manifestation techniques, and I would work on not having to like seek out situations or people, because I feel like maybe that's contributing to seeking out the wrong people. I would allow your nature to attract the right people. So getting back to your true nature, you know, working with the root and with the heart and attracting would be really beneficial. But I think what you're craving right now are close connections and intimacy. And if this is a work situation, you're craving like the right company, like the glass slipper. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so hopefully you found this to be helpful. And thank you for watching, and leave a comment down below if, you know, this resonated for you. Let's see. I do want to keep it original. Cool. All right, if you picked the second pile, okay. It's interesting because I am trying to gain, I'm trying to connect to the truth of your situation. And for you, you have a lot of, it's almost like self-doubt and questioning whether what it is that you want to create is worthwhile. There's a lot of, if anything, this pile has a lot of energies when it comes to career, purpose, even when it comes to relationships, making sure that, am I questioning whether you're even worthy of building the right connection, or again, there's some sort of doubt at play here with, let me flip this over because this is actually distracting me. So yeah, there's just a lot of doubt for what it is that you want to create, and wondering if it's going to work out, and wondering if it'll even be appreciated. And I can see you putting other people's opinions over your own and really struggling with an inner critic here. I can also see that you guys are currently almost hiding, or not wanting to be seen, or not wanting your ideas to be seen. You're purposefully dimming your light. And the vision I got is someone hiding in a case, in an egg underneath the earth. So maybe you feel your ideas are not ready, or you feel you're just not ready in general. But it seems you're making a lot of excuses as to why you shouldn't step out, when I think these are all things in your head. And again, you're allowing other opinions to get to you, and other, it could even be society, you feel society may not accept you, and that, when that definitely is not true. It's a matter of knowing that you should take up space in society, and knowing that you should, you have a right. You have a right to create what it is that you want to create. You have a right to have the relationship that you want to have. You have a right to do what it is that you want to do, because I feel there is a sense of whatever this is very linked to your purpose. For some, I can see this being ancestral as well. But let's see. So your goddess that you have is Ixchel, which is the Mayan goddess. And it says, like many moon goddesses, she's a patroness of weaving. Ixchel, like the waxing and the waning, is comfortable with all sides of life. Her energy is midwife to our own creative ideas. There's also a story that I keep connecting to that I feel I should share about her. And this is about how she was essentially, I think, in love with someone who didn't love her back. He didn't respect her, I think, is the story. And in order to escape him, I think it was the sun god, I'm not sure, but she had to shapeshift into a jaguar in order to be elusive. So this could also be about you having to make sure that you're hiding, or not hiding, but protecting yourself from the wrong people, essentially. But this is the truth of the situation, and we have guidance cards here. So let's see what it is. We have the Ace of Wands, the Seeker, interesting, and the Devil reverse. The truth of the situation is that all these things are essentially not real. They're not true. If you're waiting for a sign to do something, take this as your sign to do something. You don't have to allow other people to overpower you, or to dictate you, or to have a say in what it is that you want to create. For example, let's say that you have a business partner and you're creating something, and maybe your business partner is involved in finances and you're involved in a creative side. If someone is overstepping their boundaries and dictating to you as to how you should create your product, then they shouldn't. And there's a sense of having to say something or stand up to it. But this is saying that your inspiration or your spark or what it is that you want to go after. Here with the Ace of Wands, you more than certainly can. And there's a heavy energy of an inner critic here. And I love this advice that I saw on a card. I don't have this deck, but it's a different deck, but it's saying that when you have an inner critic, to nurture it, show it love, hug it, but know that it's not true. Just be aware that it's not true. And know where, I would also question, and meditate, where is his voice coming from, and to really silence it. And yeah, and for some, if well, I'm not really seeing it. The Seeker card is about finding wisdom and finding knowledge. Hold on, let's wait for this card to pass. I actually want to see a clarifier for the Seeker to get one more card for your main truth of the situation, because it's not technically a tarot, but this card is about whatever it is that you're really passionate about. There's a lot of spiritual insight and wisdom that you can attain from it. And, I know in the beginning I said that you may be hiding and you may think that you're not ready. But if things are kind of in between or in a transitionary phase, use this as an opportunity to dive deep into something or to explore something in the metaphysical or the occult or spiritual, or it could be a skill set or to discover something else. But if you feel like it's because you're being held back by something, you're in actuality not. There's a lot of fears at play here that are not, I'm telling you that they may not, they're not real essentially. But let's see what more the truth of you're holding your there's a lot of hesitation and doubt, and maybe you're there's that voice inside your head saying, maybe I'm not ready, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe. There's a lot of maybes and a lot of comparisons too, and there's a sense of needing to appreciate your own uniqueness, appreciate who you are, and I can see a lot of comparisons here at play too, and it's possibly due to other people forcing these comparisons on you. We have the Ten of Swords, the Hermit in reverse. Oh, these two came out. The Four of Cups and the Tower in reverse. Yeah, there's also a sense of not living for other people. I actually want to get a clarifier for that Hermit in reverse, just to make sure I'm right about something. Or yeah, you have to believe in yourself more. This is definitely a sense of having to have the confidence to do something, having the confidence to trust in yourself. For example, I can also see for some, if you're a aspiring spiritual practitioner, you have to start really trusting your intuition, and there's also even a sense of trusting that what the next steps are going to be, on your path. There's a lot of uncertainty here, and I think maybe it's because you're in a transitionary period of your life. And I can see also that maybe I feel when we are in transitions, we don't appreciate that time, and we see it as we can see it as a failure, or we can see it as we can see it as like a failure. We can see it like, you know, maybe we're doing something wrong, or like, and it could be different things. It could be like a need for you to readjust something in your life, or like it could be a time for like a temporary pause, or it could be a time to hone a skill, or learn a new talent. But something happened to where, and I feel like it's other people and like the voice, this inner critic that internalized in your head or in your heart, and it's making you really like be afraid of failure, and be afraid of the next step, and to be afraid of what's next to come. Like there's a sense of becoming really fearful of your life in a sense. But the truth of the matter is that it's a fear, and it's a fear alone, and there's an inner critic that needs to be silenced, and there's a sense of needing to have confidence more in your abilities too. And you guys also feel very alone at the moment, so maybe also like finding people to like help you and support you, and you know, in any ways. But let's see what let's see what this is teaching you about your truest self. Sorry, I ran out of breath. That's why I went oof. A lot of I love this because I feel like when it comes to trusting in the uncertainty and trusting in the next steps to take, this is very much third eye energy. And I'm also seeing like a lot of stars in the night sky. So it's also appreciating the darkness and allowing like your inspiration to like lead you through. For some, the aurora can be very significant, like the aurora, like the lights, the northern lights. So there's maybe also a sense to connect to nature, and if you feel like a little bit lost, allow nature to guide you forward, right? Go on more walks, and I feel like doing so can help you really trust yourself and trust your intuition. But we have blue tansy. Where do I go from here as a trigger statement? True statements: I allow life to flow through me. Oh, okay, well that's what I just said. Sorry. And then we have lemon eucalyptus sovereignty. Trigger state. By the way, when I'm like channeling, it helps when I look at this tree. So sometimes I don't look at the cards, but it helps. And I guess if you're someone that's learning or wanting to really expand on your intuition, just focusing on trees or on nature can help. It helps me. I don't know how to explain this, but anyways, moving on. So your other guidance, or what this is teaching you about yourself, is your sovereignty. I navigate through life with ease, like feeling in control and empowered and not being afraid. Like I would have some affirmation like, I decide. I know that I am is very popular too, but there's something I like about I decide. Like I decide with ease. Life happens, or I navigate through life with ease is a great one, but I love that I decide. It says, now you must claim your energetic independence, cut the cords to lower vibrations. It's time to ascend. Like these fears are not based on, like, I'm sure there's a reason like for them and there's a source of them, but it's time to nip it at the source, you know? Yeah, but this is teaching you about your sovereignty, which is really cool. Let's see what's going to happen next for you guys. I have the Moonology deck so that it can give us some sort of timing with it. Where's my cell? Ow. I pulled a neck muscle or something, so now I'm in pain. Let's wait for this ambulance to pass. Well, while it passes, let me see what's going to happen next, or what's going to come next. Also, who cares what anyone thinks? I don't know who needed to hear that, but who cares what anyone thinks? Ooh, I love this. New moon in Pisces, attuned to the divine. And oh my God, I love this. I love the other pile, and I'm gonna love the next pile. pile, but I love this energy because it is very Ishel-like. I don't know. So you have first quarter moon in Aquarius, trust the universe, and new moon in Pisces, attuned to the divine. I think you're going to really have what's going to happen next for you with this situation is you're going to learn to have trust in you're going to have complete trust in the universe. I can see you expanding spiritually, expanding, like your abilities will expand. You'll be guided through these next phases by spirit as well. I can see dreams being really relevant for you guys. But yeah, this is about really connecting energetically, and it's also like a feeling of being held by spirit, being nourished and nurtured. And I think this stronger bond with spirit and with the divine and with the universe is going to help. It's going to help you eradicate a lot of fears. And for some, I can see you even connecting to like a spiritual mentor, having an energy healing. For some, I can see cacao being an integral part of this. But there's also like a sense of like the divine mother. So connecting to like a divine mother is at play here. But again, there's like a sense of, there's a feeling or I'm seeing you being like a divine daughter, right? So I don't know if that means anything to you, but I'm just saying it. And it's going to help you with your creations. There's something you're creating, whether creatively or like for this world. But yeah, and let me get a guidance card for you. I'm going to be using the Rose Oracle. By the way, those lunar phases can be very significant, and Pisces and Aquarius season can be very significant for you as well. But I keep getting a visual of a baby being like dipping his toes into water for the first time, or a toddler like learning how to swim for the first time. You may have experienced some sort of setback that has kind of that has traumatized you into like being very afraid to like move forward. So I love this. You have a second bloom, a second chance. It's never too late, new possibilities. And this guidance card is about, again, I connected a lot to like learning how to swim again, or like a baby, like a toddler learning how to swim. And if you've had some sort of a setback, like it's okay. It happens. It's a learning experience. It doesn't make you a failure. It's teaching. It taught you something new. It was a part of your story. Take ownership of it, add that to your story, to your right as like a sovereign of your life, so yeah, I think that's a beautiful way to end the reading with the second bloom. And thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And leave a comment down below if it resonates and like what your story is. Where's that deck? Where is the knife in that deck? Oh. All right, thank you. Okay. Last but not least, if you picked this pile, oh my goodness, if you picked this pile, I heard the message of money loud and clear. So financial discrepancies or issues or something financial could be at play here, something career-wise. You're someone who does not play around, or I need to stop looking at this image because I am confusing that as your energy, but it's coming much more like guidance. But okay, now it's different. Your guidance is to not play around, right? But this is about reclaiming your right to something, like reclaiming your authority to something. You could be like, there's like a sense of like, I'm at a loss for words for something that happened, or like I've had enough. There's a sense of like, I've reached my threshold on a situation. But this is about career and money, and it could be about financial issues within the family or within friendships as well. So, but there is a sense of like anger, and like I'm feeling it in my heart, and there's a sense of like I've had enough of a situation. But you just don't know what to do or how to navigate it, because you may feel like you're out of control, you're not in control of something, right? So your goddess here guiding this is Hera. She is the wife of Zeus. It says Hera is a mature, powerful goddess combining both practicality, nurturing a strong image of the supremacy of the queen within. So let's see what the truth of the matter is. We have the Five of Wands in reverse, the King of Swords, and the Three of Earth. It seems like someone doesn't respect your authority or let me have any input, or your voice isn't being heard. And there's something passive aggressive coming through. Let me see. Sorry. I can also see for a lot of you, you're trying to rebuild something as well, rebuilding something from scratch, or having to like almost fix someone else's mistakes, and you're having a hard time just tolerating it and dealing with it. Again, let me put this here so I don't confuse guidance with your energy. I think there's a confusion as to how to strategize something, how to strategize like a plan around people, or like, it's almost like having to be the middleman for different personalities as well, or different personalities, and it's not working out, or something's not working out. But there's a sense of like you're not being respected. You feel trampled over. Let's see what else is coming through, because I'm not getting a lot of messages from those three cards. Universe for clarity as to what is the truth of the situation for those who pick pile 3. Yeah. Someone may not be paying up or paying fairly. But I do remember money was like a big priority here. Like you could be the one that's having to pay for something or pay up front for something, and it's not fair. Here we go. Six of Pentacles in reverse, the Temperance card, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Moon in reverse. I think, honestly, I feel like you're aware of something, or I don't know if you're making excuses for someone, or for something, but the truth of the matter is that you're being short-ended. I don't know what the right word is. It's like you're not getting your end of the bargain, or you're not getting your end of the deal, or you're not being fairly compensated for something. There's a sense of you having to make things work, and you're the one that has a skill set for something, and you're not replaceable, but they're treating you as, or it's not being respected, or maybe someone is. I can also see the image of someone saying, hey, like this work isn't good enough, or this work is not what we asked for, but it is. So like you may be asked to like revisit something, but there's no need for you to revisit some sort of like work. Let's say this is a connection. I'm even seeing it for like a house. Like if you guys have a house and you're, hired a contractor, there's something that's not fair here. Or if you're buying a house and, like there's something not fair about the price. Like you may have to pay more, but it's not justified. like if this is a relationship, like it seems like your partner is not pulling up their end of like their weight in the relationship financially, and you're the one that's having to pay a lot or to have to make things work. There's a very independent energy, and the one who's has to be in charge, but it's not fair, or it's not appreciated. It's not fair and it's not appreciated. But this can't go on any longer with the Wheel of Fortune reverse. And like I think you have to point stuff out to people, or you have to, like, if things are being hidden from you, you may have to confront the situation. And I can even see this even coming out with the Moon reverse. But you have to make your intentions clear. This is what this is teaching you about your truest self. We have, let's start this card first. Evolution, things will never change, is a trigger statement, and a true statement is I attract only what is for my highest good. The imbalances in relationships that have been keeping you down are no longer needed. You are ready to transform. And you have frankincense, enlightened. Trigger statement is I'm alone. True statement is I am one with all that is. Dear child, you are safe and loved as you continue on your journey of self-exploration. This is definitely teaching you something about yourself when it comes to not having to be responsible for other people, not having to do everything for other people. If you're someone that's so used to people coming to you to fix their problems, then, you know, it kind of blurs the line on friendships and roles in friendships, or roles in connections and or at work, then it's really time to change that narrative and know that it doesn't have to all rest on your shoulders and on your back, because it feels like you're carrying more than you can, essentially. And you have a right to like stand up for yourself and to say what is. And it's interesting because, again, like I guess I'm getting my guidance from this image, and I keep forgetting to look at you. So there could also be a sense of like you're not allowing yourself to be heard or seen in a situation. And your guidance essentially is to see yourself as like someone that should be respected and someone that should be treated fairly and equally, and to know that, you know, there is something that has to change here, and whatever this is, it's not aligned with you, so you have to go towards something that is. And like I said, like you may have to ask for your money back, or you may have to take someone to court. There's a sense of like you have to prove a point and it's justified. Yeah. This is about not being in the dark anymore, not allowing yourself to be in the dark about a situation, and not like choosing to go on in ignorance as well, with the Moon card and the Wheel of Fortune reverse. But yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward. Let me see what's gonna come out of this, what's gonna happen next for you guys. And I'm using the Moonology deck so that we can get some sort of timing in there. You could even be in a situation where you're at a job where you're very overqualified or you're not getting paid enough. But yeah, we have, this is perfect for what I just said, but last quarter, Moon in Taurus, be proud of yourself. And we have let your fears dissolve, full Moon Cancer. What is it that you feel like you're not able to do or you're not capable of doing? Like, are you afraid of, let's say this is like a work situation and you're putting yourself in like a lower position. Like, are you afraid of not being able to be good enough to handle the responsibilities that you're worth getting paid for? Like, there is some sort of fear here at play here. But with what's coming next, I think you're going to be able to address it with a lot of sensitivity and tenderness. You're going to really see your worth in order to continue on and to make the right choices with how you should be compensated financially, or how you should be treated fairly in a relationship when it comes to money. Or, you know, there is something very, very financial with this pile. Like whether it's assets or I don't know, your right to something, right? But I can see you like stepping up and standing up for yourself and moving forward with a lot more like demand and authority. You know, you're going to rightfully demand what you should be paid, and you're not, let's say you're doing stuff for free in order to garner attention. You're going to stop doing that because you're like, I don't need to do that, you know, to attract money or to attract what I need. People know they will come, like you're qualified enough to have people come to you, you know? And then, let's see, this is guidance. And when I say like people, like you're qualified enough to have people come to you, I get the visual of having your resume on Indeed or having like your own website and having like people like will come to you based off of your experiences and like what you have written on there, you know? But yeah, but you may have to make those moves of like creating that profile or creating that website, you know, but as long as it's for you and like you're not doing work for other people that isn't being fair, you know. I kept connecting to a lot of pink tulips for you guys. So tulips is my flower symbol for fame and recognition, and because they're pink, there is something about, again, like being like using your personality, you know, and your nature as a way to attract the right people, or to like, it's like your branding, it's your image. Again, there's something maybe you're marketing yourself for, or something creative or something that you're creating, where you have to put a little bit of this heart-centered energy or this, you know, but to really not be afraid to attract the attention that you deserve as well. Know that you're worthy of it. So this is your guidance. The sacred union, beloved within, inner and outer relationships. Again, because this somehow goes with relationships with the Three of Earth. Again, I see a lot more of a work situation or career going on here, but I think this guidance coming through is the minute you start to treat yourself with this respect and start to have a good relationship with the self and not, you know, be subservient or anything of that nature, it's the moment you're going to start like having more healthier relationships externally, especially when it comes to like your network circle. And if you've been feeling like a little bit used, I can see that definitely changing. Yeah, especially because, I mean, this is what's going to come next. So being proud of yourself and recognizing your self-worth is going to go, you know, it's going to really catapult you forward. And with the sacred union as your guidance, and I feel compelled to read part of this for you, if I can find it. Let's see. It's like, what is it that you're doing for free that you shouldn't be doing, essentially? But this card, it says, ancient mystery teachings whisper secrets of sacred unions, heroes, gamos, sacred marriage, and early Christian mysticism and Kabbalah, sexual alchemy in ancient Egyptian teachings, and Yab Yum, father, mother, in Tibetan Buddhism. Every relationship can be seen as an invitation to deepen connection with the beloved within, even our most challenging relationships, especially the most challenging one. Soul inquiry, how can you embrace yourself more? And it's very similar to that message. But I hope this brought you some sort of clarity. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you next time.